Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're unraveling the insights from The Blue Zones by Dan Buettner. Award-winning author and researcher Dan Buettner has traveled the globe to uncover the best strategies for longevity found in the blue zones, the areas in the world where higher percentages of people enjoy exceptionally long lives. The blue zones are areas where common things such as lifestyle, diet, and outlook have led to amazing quality and quantity of life. In this dynamic book, Buettner reveals how these people live longer and better through the types of food they eat, the company they keep, and their perspectives on life. In this summary, you will learn how to make easy, lasting changes that may add years to your life. If you like our content, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Don't be shy about smashing that like button if you discover something valuable. Let's grow and succeed together. Longevity is not about genes. How you live your life can lengthen or shorten it. There are many different cultures and civilizations in the world today, each with its unique ways of life. In some cultures, the average life expectancy can be as high as 80 years, while in others, it can be as low as 45 years. However, there are certain regions in the world where people enjoy exceptionally long lives, living well into their 100s. These areas of the world are what Dan Buettner calls the blue zones. The blue zones are regions where people enjoy exceptionally long lives. One of those blue zones is Sardinia, a small island off the coast of Italy. A 2011 study showed that, on average, 1 in 600 humans live to be 100 or older in Sardinia. This contrasts to the US, where 1 in 4,000 people are centenarians. So, the question is, does longevity depend on our genetic makeup? Are the people in Sardinia and other blue zones just blessed with genes divinely geared toward longevity? Well, the answer is no. According to a famous Danish study, which looked at over 2,500 twins, genes only account for 25% of all the factors determining how long we live. No one carries longevity in their DNA. What matters is our behavior and how we choose to live our lives. In essence, you will always age every day regardless of how great your genes are, and that aging process can be slowed down or accelerated depending on the type of lifestyle you choose. The Sardinians, for instance, live a very active and natural life. They spend most of their days outdoors, move and get around with their feet, and eat a natural Mediterranean diet. If you can optimize your lifestyle and adjust your own lifestyle to align with how people in the blue zones live, you may gain back an extra decade of the good life you'd otherwise miss. In the rest of the summary, you'll learn how to optimize your lifestyle by emulating the practices Dan Buettner found in each one of the blue zones. Moving naturally throughout the day is a core part of the blue zone lifestyle. In today's technology-driven world, the vast majority of us live a sedentary lifestyle. Technological advancement has gotten to the point where we can do anything just by touching a button. We can shop, work, and even socialize from our homes. But this comfort we so much enjoy comes at a great price. Our health. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, about 85% of the world's population does not engage in enough physical activity, making a sedentary lifestyle the fourth leading risk factor for global mortality. The truth is that living an active lifestyle is essential to longevity. Studies have shown that physical activity reduces many major risk factors of death, like hypertension, diabetes, stroke, heart attack, and cancer. When you are physically active, your body and mind will be in great condition, and the aging process will be slowed down considerably. However, being active doesn't mean you should join a CrossFit gym, run marathons, or transform yourself into a weekend warrior on Saturday mornings. You can make your lifestyle healthy and stay healthy without going overboard. Dan Buettner says the world's longest-lived people don't pump iron or join gyms. Instead, they engage in regular, low-intensity physical activity, often as part of their daily work routine. For instance, centenarians in Sardinia's blue zone worked most of their lives as shepherds, a profession that involves miles of hiking every day. Likewise, Okinawans garden for hours daily, growing food for their tables. Unfortunately, our modern technology-driven lifestyle doesn't give much room for such activities. However, we can make our lifestyle more active by consciously inconveniencing ourselves by making life a little tougher. For instance, you could start walking or riding a bicycle to the store instead of driving. You can take a walking break at work instead of a coffee and donut break and take the stairs instead of using the elevators. Little things, like getting up to change the channel or shoveling the snow off your driveway, can add up to a more active lifestyle. Get rid of the TV remote control, garage door opener, electric can opener, electric blender, snowblower, and power lawnmower. Instead, get a bicycle, a comfortable pair of walking shoes, a broom, and a snow shovel. Furthermore, if exercise is already part of your daily activity, ensure your workout routine includes a combination of aerobic, balancing, and muscle strengthening activities. Dan Buettner recommends exercising the core muscle groups at least twice a week. Hara Hachi Bu, like the Okinawans, stop eating when you're 80% full. In most countries in the Western world, especially in the United States, generous, oversized portions of food are very much appreciated. But in the blue zones, especially in Okinawa, Japan, Dan Buettner discovered that most people stopped eating when they were mostly full. They don't keep eating till they clear the plate or till they are too full to take another bite. Okinawan elders always recite this Confucian-inspired adage before beginning any meal. Hara Hachi Bu, a reminder to stop eating when their stomachs are 80% full. This simple but powerful cultural practice of calorie restriction and mindful eating is one of the reasons that Okinawa has the highest percentage of centenarians in the world. Unlike the United States, where an average middle-aged man consumes over 2,500 calories a day, an Okinawan's average daily caloric intake is only about 1,900. Likewise, Sardinians traditionally ate a similarly lean diet of about 2,000 calories daily. When you cut back calories, you lose weight. Studies have shown that losing just 10% of one's body weight helps to lower blood pressure and cholesterol, which reduces the risk of heart disease. But how do we achieve this? After all, most of us don't live on a Japanese archipelago or are surrounded by thousand-year-old cultural norms. In the long run, the key to eating in moderation is emulating the environment and habits of the Okinawan people. The next chapter will give you some insights into how you can do this. Practicing the principles of Hara Hachi Bu will only require you to make some simple changes to your eating habit. There is a big calorie difference between when an American says, "I'm full," and an Okinawan says, "I'm no longer hungry." By making simple changes to our daily eating habits, we can successfully put the secret of Hara Hachi Bu into practice for a healthier life or for weight loss. Anyone can modify their eating patterns or environment, enjoy food, and learn to eat only until they are 80% full. Here are some tips Buettner suggested. Trick yourself into eating less by making your food look bigger. While bigger portions make you eat more, portions that appear bigger make you eat less. Studies have shown that people who eat a quarter-pound hamburger made to look like a half-pounder with lettuce, tomatoes, and onions feel equally full after eating. Use smaller vessels to serve your meals. Research shows that a portion served on a small plate will look bigger than it is, so people tend to underserve on small plates and eat less. So, get rid of your dinner plates and big glasses and buy smaller plates and tall, narrow glasses. You're likely to eat significantly less without even thinking about it. Do not rush your meals. Try as much as possible to eat slower. When you eat fast, you are highly likely to eat more. By slowing down while eating, you can sense and react to your body's signals that you're no longer hungry. Avoid distractions while eating and focus on food. A surefire way to eat mindlessly is to do so while watching your favorite TV show or reading your emails. If you're going to eat, just leave everything else until you're done. Doing this, you'll eat more slowly, consume less, and savor your food more. Adopting a plant-based diet will do your health a lot of good. Most centenarians in the world's blue zones like Okinawa, Sardinia, and Nicoya, Costa Rica have a unique habit in common. Their diets are predominantly plant-based. They never had the chance to develop the habit of eating processed foods, soda pop, or salty snacks. Traditional Sardinians, Nicoyans, and Okinawans for much of their lives ate small portions of unprocessed foods. They avoided meat and other animal products except on rare occasions. Everything they ate was produced in their gardens, supplemented by staples: durum wheat, Sardinia, sweet potato, Okinawa, or maize, Nicoya. Indeed, Several scientific studies have established that diets with little to no meat consumption are associated with living longer. Some people worry that a plant-based diet may not provide enough protein and iron. The truth is, an average plant-based diet with legumes and fortified grains can meet our body's daily need for protein and iron. Once you are over 19 years of age, you only need 0.8 grams of protein for every kilogram of your weight, which for most people would amount to only 50 to 80 grams of protein daily. Our bodies can't store protein. When we consume too much protein, the body simply takes the amount required to maintain it and converts the rest to calories and eventually to fat. In the same vein, too much iron may be bad for you because irons are believed to generate free radicals in the body. In the next chapter, you'll learn more about the major diets in the blue zones and how you can adopt them. Beans, whole grains, and garden vegetables are the main components of the diets in all the blue zones. While going into pastures, Sardinian shepherds pack semolina flatbreads with them. Nicoya elders eat corn tortillas at every meal. And the Adventists of Loma Linda, California's diet is mainly whole grain. Whole grains are rich in fiber, antioxidants, potential anti-cancer agents, cholesterol reducers, anticoagulants, and essential minerals. Like all other legumes, beans are associated with fewer heart attacks and less colon cancer. Legumes are a good dietary source of healthy flavonoids and fiber and an excellent non-animal protein source. Tofu contains a biological substance, phytoestrogen, which may provide heart protective properties to women. Moreover, studies have shown that phytoestrogen modestly lowers cholesterol and promotes healthy blood vessels. Nuts are also a cornerstone of the Blue Zone diet. A recent study conducted by Seventh-day Adventists shows that people who ate nuts at least 5 times a week had a rate of heart disease that was half that of those who rarely ate nuts. However, all of this is not to say that people who live long don't eat meat. Festive meals in Sardinia and Okinawa include lots of meat, and Nicoyans typically eat meat a few times a month. So, how do you eat more like the people in the blue zones? Dan Buettner recommends that you limit meat intake and eat more leafy greens. Blue zone diets always include at least 2 vegetables at each meal. Likewise, the centenarians in these areas eat limited quantities of meat. So, to emulate their diet, try to limit serving meat to twice weekly and eat 4 to 6 vegetable servings daily. Also, since beans are a cornerstone of each of the blue zone diets, make beans or tofu the centerpiece of your lunches and dinners. Also, rather than hide vegetables in the refrigerator compartment that says, produce, put them out in the open on shelves where you can see them. Lastly, stock up on nuts and eat them every day. Keep nuts available in your home and office, ideally in 2 ounces or less packages, and snack on them regularly. The Adventist Health Study shows that nuts generally play a huge role in extending life expectancy, regardless of the type. Living a life devoid of purpose and family love can shave years off your life expectancy. Can you sum up your life's purpose in one sentence as quickly as possible? Studies have shown that if you can, you could add an extra 8 years to your life. While most of us think longevity is all about eating right and staying fit, that is not the case. Living long also has much to do with your mind state. Okinawans refer to purpose as ikigai, and Nicoyans call it plan de vida, but in both cultures, the phrase essentially translates to why I wake up in the morning. The centenarians of Okinawa have an especially strong sense of purpose, and this is believed to be the reason they have very low chances of suffering from Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, and stroke. An NIH-funded study examining the correlation between having a sense of purpose and longevity found that individuals who expressed a clear goal in life lived longer and were sharper than those who did not. In essence, people who know their life purpose and have something to get up for in the morning, something that made a difference, live longer, better lives. These centenarians tended to marry, have children, and build their lives around that core. Their lives were instilled with familial duty, ritual, and a particular emphasis on love and unity. The Okinawan sense of family and togetherness transcends this life. Okinawa elders start the day by honoring their ancestors' memories. Grave sites are often furnished with picnic tables so that family members can celebrate Sunday meals with deceased relatives. How does putting family first contribute to longevity? Well, by the time centenarians become centenarians, their lifelong devotion has yielded returns. Their children reciprocate their love and care. Their children check up on their parents, and in most of the blue zones, the younger generation welcomes the older generation to live with them. Research has shown that elders who live with their children eat healthier diets and have lower chances of getting sick, lower stress levels, and a much lower incidence of serious accidents. So, how do you live a life of purpose and put family first like the Blue Zone centenarians? Find out in the next chapter. Did you know? Investing in your children when they are young helps ensure they'll invest in you when you're old. Start developing your sense of purpose by articulating your personal mission statement. If you don't have a sense of purpose, answer this question in a memorable sentence. Why do you get up in the morning? Think about the thing you're most passionate about, how you enjoy using your talents, and what is truly important to you. A sense of purpose may come from something as simple as seeing that children or grandchildren grow up well. Purpose can come from a job or a hobby, especially if you totally devote yourself to it. You can even get a sense of purpose by learning something new. Dan Buettner recommends taking up a musical instrument or learning a new language. Both activities are among the most powerful things you can do to preserve your mental acuity. And when it comes to family, Dan recommends that you cherish it above anything else. Invest time and energy in your children, spouse, and parents. Play with your children, nurture your marriage, and honor your parents. You can even consider living in a smaller house to create an environment of togetherness. This is because it's easier for families to bond and spend time together in a smaller home. And if you live in a large home, establish one room where family members gather daily. Did you know? Seniors who live with their families stay sharper longer than those who live alone or in a nursing home. Having a sense of sublime serenity helps you live a longer, healthier life. In our society today, especially in the Western world, accomplishment, status, and material wealth are highly revered and require most of our time. Americans on full-time contracts work on average 43 hours a week and take the shortest paid vacations. Then, when they finally take time off, most of them stay in touch with the office. Generally, we hold working and being productive in high regard. Being busy often wins us esteem. There aren't many cultural institutions around to encourage us to slow down, unwind, and de-stress. As Dan Buettner discovered in All the Blue Zones, stress management is one of the pillars for living a long, healthy life. Dan noticed that centenarians often exude a sense of sublime serenity. While this is partly because their bodies naturally slow down as they age, they're also wise enough to know that many of life's most precious moments pass us by if we're running blindly toward some goal. For instance, Sardinians go out into the streets at 5 p.m. every day, while Nicoyans take a break every afternoon to rest and socialize with friends. In Loma Linda, the Saturday Sabbath means many things to the Adventists. One is that the Sabbath can be a great stress reliever. From Friday evening to Saturday evening, Adventists create a sanctuary in time, during which they focus on God, their families, and nature. They don't work, and their children don't play organized sports or do homework. Instead, families spend time together and do things that bring them closer and make them feel closer to God. And the result seems to be a greater sense of well-being. But how does slowing down help you live a longer, healthier life? Well, the answer may have to do with the fact that stress reduces the ability of your immune system to fight off minor illnesses the body would normally be able to fend off. According to Dr. Claudio Franceschi, an Italian endocrinologist, the negative effects of inflammation build up over time to facilitate the development of age-related diseases like Alzheimer's disease, atherosclerosis, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. So, slowing life's pace may help keep the chronic inflammation and related diseases at bay. Moreover, this Blue Zone lesson on stress management does much to add richness to life. Slowing down ties together so many other lessons: eating right, making family a priority, creating things that bring purpose. Meditation is the key to maximizing your health and longevity in this stressful world. How can we build some stress-relieving rituals into our daily routines like people in the Blue Zones? As Dan Buettner suggests, finding time for our spiritual side can create a space to slow down. Practices like yoga and meditation can also give our minds a respite. Steve Hagen, author of Buddhism, Plain and Simple, regards meditation as a cornerstone of slowing down. According to Hagen, Meditation allows us to step out of the self-focus and find true freedom. Meditation increases concentration and allows us to see the world as it really is instead of how we think it is. It sets up our day and helps us realize that rushing, worrying, and the urgency we give to so many things in our lives really aren't necessary. And with that realization, all other strategies for taking things slowly come much easier. So, to start enjoying the benefits of meditation, create a space in your home that is quiet. Not too hot and not too cold. Not too dark and not too light. Get a meditation cushion or chair to put in the space. Create a regular meditation schedule. And try to meditate every day, no matter what. Begin by meditating for 10 minutes a day. As time goes on, try to work up to 30 minutes daily. Conclusion. While the average life expectancy in most countries is below 100, there are a few places in the world where living to be over 100 isn't uncommon at all. These regions, specifically Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, and Icaria, Greece, are blue zones. The life expectancy in these places isn't just higher, centenarians are generally also healthy, and their minds and bodies are still working well. As it turns out, there is no physical fountain of youth, and no one carries longevity in their DNA. If you want to live a long and healthy life, you have to cut back on calories by eating in moderation. You can start by serving your meals with smaller vessels and slowing down while eating. When it comes to living a long, healthy life, what really matters is your lifestyle. By learning from the centenarians of the blue zones, you can make the necessary changes to your lifestyle to enjoy the longevity you desire. Try this. Eat until you are 80% full. Learn to stop eating when you stop feeling hungry. You don't have to clear your plate or eat until you are too full to take another. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. If you've enjoyed our summary, consider reading the full book for a more in-depth exploration. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing.